Hello and welcome to RoboMonk Art and Tarot. I am RoboMonk. Today we are exploring a message that your higher self wants you to know. Sometimes we have these messages that will really help us right now, or we need a reminder of who we are and what we're doing. And your higher self has that message for you today. We'll look into it together. This is a pick a card, but I just want to say real quick that I'm sending love and light to all of you, and I truly appreciate all of the views. I appreciate all of the subscribing. I appreciate all of the love and positivity on this channel. It brightens my day. I hope these videos brighten your day. All right, let's get to the piles and see which resonates for you. In pile 1, we have Brazilian agate. In pile 2, we have apatite. And in pile 3, we have hematite. So take a moment to see which resonates with you, and we'll get started. Hello, pile 1. Thank you for being here with me today. Today we are exploring a message that your higher self wants you to know. What do I mean by higher self? Typically when we say this, it means yourself that has not been touched by this 3D earth plane. More often, your soul. What does your soul want to say to you? It's pure messages, it's pure thought, wisdom from spirit that has not been tainted by this 3D earth plane. So that's what we are going to get a message from today. There are 6 cards in front of us. This does not limit the images that we are going to get, but it will be a good start. So let's get started. The first image that I receive is one of a child swinging on a play swing. And they are happy, they are laughing, they feel free, they feel lifted in spirit, and they are also feeling the wind in their face, in their hair. As it blows by, they feel the coolness of the wind, and they feel refreshed. This may be a spot where you're at or where you want to be. You may be at a point where this earth plane is forcing you to be very serious, having a lot of issues here that you have to resolve. And your higher self is coming in and reminding you to take some time to laugh, take some time to be joyful, and also that spirit is with you through this time. But if you can find a way to laugh, it will ease your burdens. Maybe even sing. That can ease your burdens as well. Music and laughter can turn a whole situation around so that it can be a more joyful experience, and you can see it in a different perspective than maybe if you were just trying to slog through it. I also see this child gathering up momentum on this swing, and then all of a sudden jumping off of the swing and landing on the ground, safe and sound. The child is not hurt, but that rush of adrenaline as they leap out of the swing into the air and land. Sometimes this is what Spirit requires of us in order to get out of a horrible situation, to leap and land, and to know that Spirit has us and is keeping us safe. The next image I receive is one of a cupcake. And there's something interesting about this cupcake because there is frosting, there's cake, there is a cherry on top. It looks great. But then there is a moth that is on this cupcake. Now, the cupcake itself can symbolize childhood, right? Celebrations, marking an anniversary. But it also can be a celebration of joy, a celebration of happiness, and respect for the happiness in our lives. We come to almost meditate at this point in time when we have a cupcake, because it is one of the highlights typically of the day that we have. So with this in mind, and the moth there on it, the moth typically represents shadow work of the nighttime, of thinking of inner thoughts, of inner wisdom. With these two cards together, I'm reminded of doing your shadow work and reflecting on your joy. It may be a time where this 3D earth plane is really, like I said, forcing you to be very serious, and your higher self wants to remind you of joy, wants to remind you of laughter, and to focus on the joy with your shadow self and really think, okay, is there any way that I can experience joy during the day? Is there a reason why I'm not experiencing joy during the day? Is there something in my power that I can do to experience joy in my day? It doesn't have to be all day, but those little bits of joy throughout the day can really carry us through a tough situation. And your higher self wants you to know that. The next image I receive is one of windshield wipers. And I know this glass front piece on the car is called different things in different countries, but I am talking about the foremost glass piece on a car where the windshield wipers go back and forth and clear it of the water. And with this, it's a clearing of emotions. You are clearing out the water in your life, sifting through it so that you can see better. There may be emotions in your life that are really clouding your vision right now. Your higher self is reminding you to do the shadow work, just like in card 2, and do a deep check into your emotions, because your higher self may really think that this might be a part of why you are feeling so serious right now. And I see a little cup with a drop of water coming into the cup. This is a good reminder for me saying, look at your cup of emotions. Is it clear? Is it cool? Is it refreshing? Or is it muddied? Is it undrinkable? Is it something that you have to sift through in order to clear your mind, clear your emotions, and be able to see the next step that is good for you? I also see 2 waterfalls coming in and merging down at the bottom. I see this as 2 sources of emotion that are really feeding into this lack of clarity, this lack of vision. There could be 2 sources that are leading into this emotion that is really clouding your ability to see. Okay. Through this time of being on this 3D earth plane, we get so wrapped up in who we are down here. And we almost forget, and it's so easy to forget, that we are light beings as well. I get a picture of a DNA strand, which makes up who we are down here in this 3D earth plane. And our higher self is coming in and saying these words to you. You are beauty. You are light. To remind yourself that you are a light being here in this 3D earth plane. You have so much power, so much grace, so much wisdom already. It's there inside of you. And with this DNA helix, it actually forms into your soul. Spirit has me draw 2 more lines that go directly into your light being, your soul. And this is, again, the reminder that these are all connected. Your soul is connected to who you are down here. And it's a wonderful reminder to let you know that your higher self is always with you, always helping you. And sometimes you just need to listen to it in order to know what to do next. The last image I see is one of, again, beauty. It's the stark contrast between this 3D earth realm and the shadow world and the light being that you are. A lot of times in the shadow world, you can be your light self. You can shine, you can look at different things of emotion, of different ways of being, but in the 3D earth realm, right, the light world, what everyone else sees, it's really more of what is made up of this 3D earth realm, right? And sometimes your soul light shines through and people might say, wow, you're really glowing today. They can really sense that through your aura, through your different ways of shining through from that shadow self into the light self. And I see here you walking confidently from this 3D earth realm, this light world, into the shadow world where you are this light being. And I see you, after this reminder, being able to transfer through back and forth a lot better than what you are right now. And that's why your higher self had to come in today to give you that reminder that you are a light being, that you have power, you are beauty, you are light. Remember that laughter. Check into those emotions so you can see clearly, and know that you are just an amazing light being. Pile 1, thank you so much for being here with me today. This was a powerful message. Thank you for your higher self for being here today. Thank you for Spirit for being here today. I truly appreciate your presence. Know that you're loved, know that you're blessed, and I'll see you next time. Hello, Pile 2. Thank you for being here with me today. Today we are exploring a message that your higher self wants you to know. What do I mean when I say higher self? It is this sense of self that has not been touched by this 3D earth plane. You have deeper wisdom, you have clarity, you have focus, you have this inner self. And a lot of people would equate it to the soul, right? The soul is not touched by this 3D earth realm. So it's this purity that has always been in contact with Spirit, coming in and guiding you along. So, this higher self has a message for you today. We have 6 cards here in front of us. So let us get into what the message is. The first image I see is one of a road going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth again and again and again. And at the end of it is a snake's head. This road could be called a term of a serpentine or serpentine road, which gets its name from serpent. And I feel like you have been going this way and that way and this way and that way, trying to find your power. And with this snake's head here, you are teaching others how you want to be treated. I feel like there have been a lot of lessons learned on this serpentine road, and you have been able to internalize it. You have been able to learn from it, and you have now harnessed that, said to yourself, I am going to take charge of the situation of my life, and I'm going to get ahead of how people treat me. I won't be a receiver of their emotions. I will tell them how I want to be treated. How do you do that? Through the way you dress, through the way you talk, through the way you shine your inner light, through the way you say yes to some requests and no to others. You really show people how you want to be treated. Your higher self and spirit are very proud of you for learning this lesson and are really encouraging you to continue on finding your power and continue on teaching people how you want to be treated, because that is an important lesson here in this 3D Earth realm, and they feel like you are starting to master that. The second image I see is one of a tea kettle, and it is pouring tea into more of a traditional teacup. I get more of a Japanese feel here. I know there's a saucer there, but I honestly getting more of a traditional sense of this. And the Japanese have a tea ceremony, some of you may be aware, and it is full of respect, it is full of ritual, and there are certain ways to do things, and you cannot rush it. Does that sound familiar to maybe a life lesson, right? There are certain ways to do things, and you cannot rush it, but this is a respect of life, it is a respect of time, it is a respect of giving thanks to where you are right now, to spirit. And your higher self is coming in and saying to nurture yourself and have patience, because there are right ways to do things, and even though you are doing them, you may have a tendency to rush into things, and you have to have a little patience. But remember to nurture yourself as well. Like this tea ceremony, it's all about respecting yourself, respecting your environment, respecting spirit, and respecting the time it takes in order to get things done. The next image I see is of you lighting little lanterns and having them go off into the air, up into space, up into stars. You are setting your intentions of what is to come. You have done your shadow work. You have really brought into focus what you want next. And you are setting those intentions and lighting those lanterns, lifting them up to spirit and to the sky, which is always a wonderful practice. The next image I see right after this is a magician's wand, and it's coming in very quickly, sparks flying everywhere. This is a very different feel, very different image than anything we've had thus far in this reading of pile 2. And I feel like sparks are flying, action is happening. You've set your intentions, you've had your patience, and I think things are actually going to happen now. And I get the words, be ready for magic. Be ready for magic. And here in the tarot community, we know that the magician is great at manifesting their own destiny, right? What's going to come up next. So I really feel like this is kind of what you are doing here. You're in control. You are manifesting what's coming next, just like the magician, but it is actually going to happen. Sometimes we manifest things, or try to, and it takes forever. And it may be that you are at the end of this road where you tried to manifest for a long time and nothing happened. Well, it's going to happen now. So just be ready for magic. And your higher self wants you to be aware of that. So all of that patience, all of that respect of time is really going to pay off in the end. This next image is a set of 3 images, and it's really quite abstract, so I will explain it as we go along. First, I see a set of mountains. Now, mountains usually are representative of big problems that we have in our life that we want to conquer, or challenges that we have in our life that we want to conquer. And I see them laid out in front of us in a landscape, and you have set the intention to climb this, to conquer this mountain. All of a sudden, these mountains are starting to get pulled in to a focal point. As you rise above them, their perspective is changing as you rise above them. They are getting smaller, closer into a point with this second image here. And it's not really the mountains that are changing, it is you that is changing. You are changing your perspective on them so you can actually see them in a different way. And you continue to rise up farther and farther and farther away from these mountains. You are so high above these mountains that now you can see them for what they are. They are actually the focal point in this eye that will awaken you. And I got the words, think bigger than mountains. Really take a wide lens to these problems that you are looking at. They may seem like big problems, but think even bigger. That's what your higher self wants you to realize right now. That's part of the message. So be ready for that magic and think big, really big, in order to conquer these problems. Because if you think bigger than mountains, the mountains will diminish and they won't be a problem, they will be a focal point to the solution. After all of this epic talk and launching into the sky, your higher self wants you to know that you are safe. You are protected. I got an image of you under an umbrella, resting. And I feel like you're going to earn this rest after all of this manifesting and conquering mountains and thinking big. I feel like you're going to earn this rest, but ultimately this umbrella means that you are protected as you go on these journeys. Pile 2. I hope this brings you clarity. And I appreciate you being here with me today. I appreciate your higher self for being here with us. And I want to thank Spirit for being here with us too. Know that you're loved, know that you're blessed, and I'll see you next time. Hello, Pile 3. Thank you for being here with me today. Today, we are exploring a message that your higher self wants you to hear. And what do I mean by higher self? Higher self, from what I know, is this place inside of you that has not been touched by this 3D earth realm. It is pure, it has pure wisdom, has pure thought, pure emotion, and has a direct connection to spirit. And this really resembles the soul, right? Not been touched by this 3D earth realm. Some would say that they are one and the same. So let's see what this message is from your higher self. We have 6 cards here in front of us. This won't limit the images that we get, but this is a good start. So let's get started. The first image that I see is one of a carnival ride where you are spinning around at a very high elevation. You are on this pole ride. So the pole is there. You are connected by a large rope to a box that you are sitting in. And there are several other boxes there connected to ropes that are tied to this pole. And they spin you around and around and around, faster and faster and faster. And it is supposed to be fun. I have never personally enjoyed these, but some of you may enjoy that ride. I think you'll know what I'm talking about here if you see the image. And it is a representation of your life right now. Your higher self is coming in and giving me the words, fast-paced life, but going in circles. So you may be going really quickly throughout the day, very busy doing things for other people, doing things for yourself, but you may be feeling like you're going in circles, just like this carnival ride. You're not really getting towards your goals or getting closer towards your goals, and that can be extremely frustrating. So let's see what else your higher self has to say. The next image I receive is one of you in total darkness, but the darkness starts to part. There is light coming in from the outside, and I feel like this is a new way of thinking or new way of being for you. You may not realize that you are in darkness at this point, because maybe this just feels like another day to you, another day of busyness, another day of fast-paced life, right? And if you aren't aware of this, there may be something coming up that will make you aware of it. There might be a moment of existential crisis, right? Where you have this moment of, wow, I'm living a life that I'm not sure I want to live, and maybe I need to do other things in order to live the life I want to live, and I'm not sure how to get there. But this is where your higher self comes in and shows you the way. The next image I see is one of a marble, and it is rolling down a track. I get the sense that you are finally moving. So you're getting off of that carnival ride, you're getting off of that fast-paced life, getting away from going just in circles, and you're actually moving forward towards your destination. The marble is a sphere, which represents oneness. You are going towards being one with yourself, being one with your goals, and moving forward and encapsulating this oneness in your life. The fourth image I see is of you being pressed between a vice, but you are unharmed. You are really unaffected by the vice. Because now that you're finally moving, you're finally going towards this oneness of yourself and of you and spirit being one, you and your higher self being one, your soul, all of this being one. You are unaffected by this high-pressured situation that you may be put in. But the beauty of this high-pressure situation is it's going to actually launch you into where you need to be. And you will be absolutely, totally ready for it. Because you've felt this high-pressure situation before on this carnival ride. It may have felt just like an everyday occurrence to you, but the fact that you weren't going anywhere really made you frustrated. But the fact that you are put into another high-pressure situation, but it actually leads to somewhere, it's going to give you encouragement, and it's going to give you motivation to keep going, because you're going to actually go towards your goals. The next image I see is one of triangles coming towards me, again and again and again. Now, the triangle is the most stable geometric figure. It also can be a divine figure. I really feel like you're going to get a sense of the divine sense of stability coming towards you again and again and again. Almost like a meditation, almost like a prayer, a connection to spirit. And the words I got from this, you are realizing an inner power that's inside of you. And it's going to wash over you. It's going to be a divine experience. You are going to realize this inner power, gain a lot of strength, become even more one with yourself. And I got this amazing image of harmony, harmonizing with the universe, harmonizing with your environment around you. But there's also something else to this. It's a frequency. It's a frequency of sound, and sound frequencies can do so much. They're so powerful, as some of you might know. That's where we get the hertz music that you might see here on YouTube or some other places. They have this frequency of healing. I see this frequency for you being your own unique frequency. And it has so much power to it. To picture this power, I see you standing in a giant crevice of a split rock that you just split with this frequency, because you are here in between these two giant boulders that you just split, and you are finally one with yourself. You are finally realizing your inner power. You are finally harmonizing with the universe, and you are able to do so much. You have gained this knowledge. You have gained this serenity. No longer are you required for this fast-paced life. You are actually moving forward with so much more power than you ever had before. And I see you using it for good. I see you using it for creation. When you split this rock here, it was in your way, right? It was something that was in your way, but it was for good. You cleared out the blockage, the wreckage in your life, and you are moving forward on a clear path. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. Pile 3, I hope this brings you clarity, and I want to thank you for being here today. I want to thank your higher self for being here today, and I want to thank Spirit for being here today. Know that you're loved, know that you're blessed, and I'll see you next time.